What is the number one biggest trait that separates high value men from low value men? From alpha males to beta males. What is that number one trait that separates these two caricatures? I'll give you a second to think about it. All right, that number one trait that separates the high value guys from low value males and alpha males from beta males is simply this. It's your habits. Okay? A guy who is more successful than you, the only difference between you guys is that he has better habits. Okay? Difference between a high value guy versus a low value guy. High value guy has better habits. He has better discipline. Okay? He has more social awareness. He has all of these other traits that really come from having good habits. Okay? If you look at a guy who's in better shape than you, more jacked than you, right? Has a six-pack ab and all that. What's the difference between you and him? He has better habits. Okay? He eats cleaner, might work out a lot more than you do, gets enough sleep, and it just comes back to his habits, guys. Okay? And it doesn't mean that, just beyond habits, because, you always get like one or two dummies in the comments going, yeah, some people are just born with better, faster metabolism. Some people are just born, with better DNA. Yeah, I get that, dude. Right? I get that, right? But I'm saying overall, in general, at the end of the day, it boils back down to habits, because there are also people out there who are born with, great DNA and who are blessed with these things naturally and still just let them go to shit and become a fat slob regardless. Okay? Regardless of their talents. There's a lot of people who are naturally talented even in professional sports who don't do well because they don't work on themselves. They don't have good habits, right? They try to just live off their natural talent or live off their natural gifted DNA that they got from their parents. They try to just live off of that instead of developing good habits that will take them to the next level of success. This is why you see very mediocre athletes, just using sports as an example, you see very mediocre athletes surpass these guys who are naturally way more gifted, way more athletic than they are, way more physical than they are, just totally surpass these guys like they're standing still because they have better habits. I remember I used to be a Cowboys fan, right? I'm pretty upset with them these days, but I was a Cowboys fan, especially back in the 90s, and I remember when we drafted Emmitt Smith. Remember Emmitt Smith? And this guy was really small, not fast, and kind of slow in some ways, right? But this guy has great habits. He knows how to work, right? He knows how to improve himself. And I mean, this guy was, pretty good running back. Sure, he had a great offensive line, but that's not to take away what he did in high school or college, because obviously, you can't just attribute everything to the offensive line. This guy can still run, he could still make people miss, and he could still put the ball in the end zone, right? But what's the difference between him and I can't think of another running back right now who's physically dominating. Well, I guess you could think of a Bo Jackson or something like that. But regardless, it just boils back down to habits, right? You have to have better habits. There's always going to be certain advantages that another person might have, or certain privileges they might have. But you can't worry about that, because everybody has some sort of privilege or some sort of advantage over another person. Everybody has that, and you have to find out what your privileges are, what your advantages, and use it to your favor, right? Use it to your advantage. Where were you blessed at naturally, and use that to your advantage. I mean, I talked about my pickup and dating business that is became very successful, right? That was just something that I was naturally gifted at. That was something that I knew I could capitalize on and go out there in the world and compete against the best in the world, right? I compete against the best in the world, and I've really overtaken many of the best in the world, right? I'm kind of still surprised by, but it just boils back to good habits, right? You got to practice good habits. So that is really the one thing that separates men who are high value, men who are crushing it in life, men who are successful in life versus men who are unsuccessful, right? An unsuccessful guy is not going to have the same habits of a successful guy. An unsuccessful guy is not going to want to get up early at 4 a.m., is not going to want to work on his business all day, is not going to want to work on himself at all. He's not going to want to, work on his diet. He's not going to want to go to the gym. Whereas a successful guy will. He will do those things. He will put in the work. He will get up at 4 a.m. He will make sure he's not pounding the cheeseburgers 5 days, 7 days a week. Okay? He will make sure that he's not being distracted away from his goals or whatever he's trying to create. Okay? Whereas the unsuccessful guy will. Right? There's a big difference, and it just boils down to habits. Who has the better habits? Obviously, the more successful guy has better habits. He's not sitting there getting distracted by online junk food. He's not watching prank channels. He's not sitting there watching porn all day. He's not, pissing away his time, paying for woke Hollywood movies. He's not doing any. He's not going to any of these like ridiculous like riots or protests in the street that really don't lead anywhere. And he's not doing any of that. He's focused on what he needs to do because he has that mental discipline. He has those habits, right? He has those habits that an unsuccessful guy would not, right? An unsuccessful guy who's failing at life, who doesn't, who's broke, who nobody wants to be around, who, is just not going anywhere in life. A lot of the reasons for that, isn't because he was dealt a bad hand in life. I mean, contrary to what you'll hear in the media, because everyone's like, not, they want to make it sound like nobody gets dealt a bad hand. It's like, dude, we all hit a rough patch in life. That's life. Welcome to life. Welcome to reality, man. It's not all sunshine and rainbows. You have to work for things you want. But it always boils back down to what your habits are like, right? What your habits are like. And sure, other people are going to be more skilled than you. They're going to have more natural talent than you, depending on what it is. But so do you. There are things that you are wired to do that you're better at than other people. But again, that's why I always tell you guys, you got to find out what your strengths are. Stop focusing so much on your weaknesses, like a beta, right? Start focusing on your strengths and stop focusing so much on your weaknesses. But it always boils back down to your habits. Okay, what are your habits like? Because the better habits you have, the more successful you will be. Right? And I'm just putting it as basically and as blatant as possible. The better habits you have, the more successful you will be. I mean, there are days where I get up super early. I'm tired. I just want to sleep in all day. I don't want to do anything. I want to eat bad food. And I just want to stay in bed. And I don't. I get my ass up because I have work to do. I have content to shoot. I have, employees to take care of. And I have a life. Okay, I don't want to just exist in life. I want to live life. I don't want to just exist and just get by. I want to live life, and I want to go out there and I want to crush it, and I want to compete against the best in the world, depending on what I'm doing, right? Especially when it comes to like pick up and game, I want to compete, right? I don't want to sit in bed all day. Where does that come from? It comes from habits, right? Of course, I'm motivated to do it. I have drive, but that's that's for another coaching video. The difference between a guy who's doing better than you versus you is likely because he has better habits, whether it's his dating life, his physical, his, if he's in better physical shape than you, or if he's doing financially better than you, it's usually because he has better habits. Again, sure, there are cases where he's doing better than you. Maybe he got like, some inheritance or something like that. We're not talking about those guys because, again, you're like missing the point of this coaching video if that's where you're going with it. But at the end of the day, difference between successful versus unsuccessful will always boil down to your habits. So this is why you want to develop good habits. You want to develop some mental discipline. You want to make sure that, you're not wasting away all day long, sleeping in constantly, eating bad food constantly, or just pissing away your time constantly. Okay, because the most valuable resource that you have as a man is your time. You might think it's your money. It's not. You could always get that money back. It's time. Time is the most valuable resource you have as a man. So don't waste it. Take advantage of it. Work on your habits. And guess what? The better habits you have, the more successful you'll become. As always, drop your comments below, guys. Let me know what you think of tonight's coaching video. Anything you want to share below, go ahead and share them below. Anything I might have missed, feel free to share them below. And as always, this is M, also known as Matt Cross, from AlphaMaleSecrets, signing out. Don't forget to smash that like button below. Go ahead and smash it right now. Also, hit that notification bell right next to it so that you're notified whenever I release a brand new coaching video here on the YouTube. More importantly, guys, please make sure you subscribe to my channel. Helps me out a ton when you actually subscribe to my channel. So please make sure you subscribe as well. Okay, and for you guys who want to support my work and all of this incredible content that I am teaching you here on my Alpha Male Secrets channel, the best way to do that is by becoming a premium subscriber of my premium Alpha Male Secrets channel, which I am hosting on a private platform away from YouTube, and I'm doing that for obvious reasons. That's to protect my content from YouTube in the event that they ever try to shut me down. I will always have my premium content available on my premium channel because I am paying to be on this other platform. And this is the absolute best way to support my work. So if you love what I'm doing here, I would really appreciate it if you become a premium subscriber of my premium Alpha Male Secrets channel. And right now, it's only $1 for the entire first month of premium Alpha Male Secrets content from me. So take advantage of it. Who can't afford $1? All you have to do is click that link below in my description box. It will take you over to my website where you could get signed up right now. It just takes 2 seconds. So do that now, and I will see you in my next coaching video. I'm out.